Welcome to Tail Talk Grooming Chronicles with Hound Therapy, the podcast where we talk all things pet grooming, daycare, academy, and more. Hosted by Shannon and Tanya of Hound Therapy, serving pet owners across North Texas. We're here to share expert tips, hilarious pet stories, and the inside scoop on keeping your furry friends happy and healthy. Our motto, humanity over vanity. And don't worry, we don't bite. Let's get started. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
6 years after the surge of pandemic puppies, Shannon and Tanya break down what groomers are seeing now, the good, the challenging, and the long-term impact on grooming salons everywhere. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Sophia Yvette, co-host and producer, back in the studio with Shannon and Tanya, professional groomers at Hound Therapy. Hi, ladies. How are you doing today?
We're great.
Great. Well, it's great to see you both today. Now, today's topic is the rise of the pandemic puppy 6 years later. What are you seeing now?
Oh, God. Well, that's a mouthful, first of all. So if I stammer, that would be why. So let's start with the pandemic puppy. The pandemic puppy, I can't even say it. It's most of these people were first-time dog owners. And I would say the number one thing for me is that they missed a socialization
Yes.
gap. So as us as people, we couldn't go out and do normal things
I also
either.
think, even the humans skip, they
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
how to socialize for a
Yeah.
while.
So when you only have each other and you have such a small little world, it's really hard. So
Yeah.
these dogs didn't get socialized at all. Plus, we had a rise in puppies. We had a rise with people who never had dogs before because they were lonely. So people who would never, a lot of first-time pet owners.
Mhm.
So you put that on top of, hey, we have dogs that, we don't know how to socialize, nor can we socialize them. Um, you know, it can be a problem. For sure. And then we've got a learning curve on the human side, and then we've got a learning curve from the dog side. Dogs have to be able to go out and walk and socialize and do things. And I don't think that this is just an us problem. It was around the world.
Yeah.
6 years later, reality check, right? I mean, a lot of things that owners didn't realize is that, owning a puppy or puppy costs and maintenance for their
Yeah.
breed, that's expensive.
Yeah.
And now that you can venture out, right? You've got a really cute puppy who is a full-blown adult,
Who's
a
scared
year to 2 years old. Yeah,
who's scared of the world.
and they can't ride in the car. I mean, they can't they can't get from point A to B. And these are all things that, I think that we took for granted during this time. And as somebody said, "Oh, that dog's an emotional support dog to me today," and my answer was, "Aren't they all?" I mean, your dog should emotionally support you. I'm just saying. And if he doesn't, we need to take a different route. On the good side of that, though, just short and quick, it's they were able to bond with their families really well. So I think we got a whole lot of different um, things that we were looking to receive from getting these puppies in the
Yes.
pandemic version. But from here on our side, it's upped our grooming costs because we've had to do a lot of basic training, not just with, the dog, learning how to stand on a table, learning how to be in a loud, reactive environment, learning how to get into the vehicle and, enter a building without being scared, as much as we still have to teach this, human being that,
How
hey,
to
look, this dog is great at home for you, but you're here. So, your dog has got to be good and you want to take him more places.
Yeah.
Um, we were,
I would think, a positive thing too is people are more aware of their dog's mental needs, their emotional needs, and just the overall health and wellness. They were just more kind of aware of it. I don't know if it was more if they were sitting at home
yeah.
and researching things online.
Well, they had their undivided attention
Yeah.
for sure. So, I mean, I think that, we're lacking on that coming into the pandemic. And now that we're here now, w- we, the skilled amount that's taken to groom a dog that hasn't been groomed, that is planning on getting groomed on a regular basis, it's just higher. It's a higher demand for a higher level of skill
Yeah.
to be able to cut these dogs, and it's just the personalities are different in general, and they're spoiled, right? I mean, they're used to being at home
Yeah.
all the time. Parents are now leaving. Why is my dog chewing at my house? Well, I mean, you went from
Separation anxiety. You went from being there every day to going back to work for 8 hours. Now they're by themselves.
yeah. It's made you more aware because you had to be more focused, I think, because
Yeah.
what else were you gonna focus on?
Well, my question for you both is what advice would you give owners of maturing pandemic pups who want to improve their grooming experiences?
Well, just I would say, no, these aren't quick appointments, that dog grooming is, it takes time in general, but for us, we wanna go a little slower, to be able to better adapt that particular pet into what it is we're gonna do. So we're gonna try with some smaller baby steps coming into, "Hey, let's try some nail trims and leave. Let's get him used to the car rides." We're gonna give you some tips and tricks on how to happen that how to make that event happen for him in a or her in a fast, well-mannered, fun, playful kind of a setting versus, "Hey, I just brought my dog to the vet. It's his one day out, of the year. We're gonna come here after the vet, or yesterday went to the vet, or we're going to the vet." No, we don't wanna pair those together, right? We want a nice
Yeah.
separate, individualized, let's come in for, a happy routine and then stop and move on to another routine. Um, eh, you can bring it along slowly,
Yeah.
interact with other dogs when you're out, kind of notice your dog's behavior, interacting with other
Yeah.
dogs while you're out. I'm not a huge fan of dog parks, but I'm not necessarily against dog parks. I
It
just
can be very helpful.
I just need you to be aware,
Yeah.
so if you're aware of your dog in your social environments and you're aware of what your dog does socially,
And
whether it's
behaviors.
good or bad, so that you can learn when to correct or not correct. And if you're not, I recommend going and doing those things with a buddy or with a person or somebody who's less emotional, because if you're emotional, your animal's going to be emotional. 6 years later, I think that, here at Hound Therapy, we've definitely, um, we've combined that bridge now. I mean,
Yeah.
these are things that we were seeing for sure a whole lot more, but these are the first time parents that are now they have a 6-year-old dog. Now we've got dentals that are due. We've got other medical problems that have popped up. They're like, "Oh gosh, I had no idea that, I was gonna have to do this for a dog," or "What does that entail?" Or, "Why don't we do this?" And, they're common sense for me because I do this all the time, but they're not common sense for just everybody.
Or for someone who's never owned a dog and now they have a 6-year-old dog.
Yeah, if you're 32 years old and you just got a dog for the first time ever and you weren't allowed to have them, it's hard. We did a lot of Zoom, in our COVID area here. We opened in COVID, so we did a puppy play class. It was a play, learn, and, kind of a seven-step basic type thing, and then the trainer would go online, with all of the people who attended the class. You literally dropped off your puppy, and your puppy would play with other puppies of the same age group. And this was for 9 months and under only. And we would do a Zoom and say, okay, well, we worked on sit, and we saw that Fluffy did not do well with JoJo, and JoJo was just like all over the place. So here's JoJo's mom needs to do this, and Fluffy's mom needs to do this. So it was still kind of like we were together, but different, and it worked out really well for us. But I didn't get that same. The dogs were getting socialized, and that's what we had. It was a socialization class for dogs. It wasn't for people. But I do notice that a lot of those people, retained us as grooming after they got done with their puppy training classes, and they didn't really retain a whole lot because people didn't really
Yeah.
understand the amount that it was going to take into training them. So, following through and explaining was one thing, and we were able to do it over Zoom. But once that went away and we were in person, everybody was back to work. We're back to, oh, yeah, I haven't had time to, work on those commands every 15 minutes with my dog. He was in a crate all day. I used to, sit by at my feet while I'm at work, and now I'm gone 8 hours or 4 hours, or I've got to come home at lunch, or now I have to board my dog, or now I have to travel for work. Who's going to stay and watch my dog? There's all of these um, real life questions that are coming up that's just you didn't have to deal with real life,
6 years ago.
leaving. Yes, 6 years ago. So they're all just so new, and it's fun to kind of
Yeah.
it's really opened up the grooming world for us because we have a whole lot more dogs that are coming in, and I do definitely feel the love towards that animal being a part of the family versus an outside dog that's part of the family. This is
Yeah.
like a sibling.
Or like an actual child.
Yeah, so it's been nice to see that kind of a change, and I've said it before, I think it's kind of made us become a little bit more European, towards our dog relations, so I've been happy about that.
Well, thank you, ladies, for such helpful insights. We appreciate your expertise, and we'll see everyone next time.
That's a wrap for this episode of Tail Talk with Hound Therapy. Ready to book your pet's next groom, daycare stay, or grooming academy tour? Call us at 469-367-0009. That's 469-367-0009 to schedule an appointment. Or visit us online at www.houndtherapy.com. Serving North Texas with expert pet care. Until next time, keep those tails wagging.